councillors were asked previously to put out a ceasefire statement, something so simple in the face of mass murders and violence, Keir Starmer's Labour Party threatened Camden councillors with the whip. In the end, not a single one of the 43 Labour councillors supported the call for a ceasefire. Zero! We've been ignored, and when we've dared to speak out, the police have been called upon us. But today, with all of your support out here and 4,000 Camden residents signing our petition, we have forced Camden Council to listen to us. A recent FOI revealed that Camden holds investments in 71 companies that have been identified by various NGOs being complicit in Israel's apartheid system and war crimes in Gaza. These investments contribute to human rights abuses from military operations and surveillance tech and the building of illegal settlements. The investments are worth a massive £83 million, and that includes £83 million. Those investments include weapons manufacturers, Elbit, BAE Systems, Lockheed Martin. All those companies are actively killing people, children, fathers, mothers. There is no moral or ethical justification for continuing to profit from the suffering of the Palestinian people.
Lubaba Khalid, the lead petitioner, to address the council. Lubaba, you have 3 minutes.
Today is a historic moment, one that will be remembered for generations to come. History will record every decision made in this room. It will also remember the courage of those who chose to stand on the right side of justice, just as it remembers the brave Camden councillors who, on the 7th of December 1983, took a bold stance against apartheid in South Africa. At that time, this very council not only made a declaration of opposition to apartheid, but also issued a call to action. It urged the local community to support all measures to combat apartheid, including divestments and boycotts. Their leadership was transformative, sending a clear message that Camden would not tolerate the violation of human rights. So today I ask, how do you want history to remember you? Will history recall that the council chose to take a principled stance, refusing to invest in companies complicit in the breaches of international law? Or will it reflect on a missed opportunity, where this council failed to align its actions with its values? Will you then take a principled stance and instruct your lawyers to achieve it? But I ask you, what am I meant to do? What am I meant to tell my cousin Omar, whose home was bombed, killing 3 of his children and severely injuring his wife by weapons this council invests in? What do I say to my cousin Amal, whose husband Ali was gunned down in a busy market by a drone financed by companies this council invests in? How do I explain to my aunt Huda, who lost 2 sons, Fethi and Muhammad, that her pain is tied to the investments made with money collected here in Camden? What can I possibly say to my aunts Hanan and Hiba, whose homes have been completely destroyed? As a British Palestinian living in Camden, I find it deeply troubling that £83 million is being invested in systems that perpetrate the destruction of my family's lives and homes. This is a moral crossroads. The decision you make today will not only define the legacy of this council, but also impact councillors' lives far beyond Camden. I urge you to take a stance for justice, dignity, and humanity. Let Camden be remembered as a borough that chose to act with courage, compassion, and conviction when it mattered most. Thank you.
The way in which leadership with determination and moral purpose works is you make up your mind what your investment strategy is going to do, and you instruct your lawyers and fund managers to achieve it in the quickest, most efficient, most lawful way. That is how moral leadership works. The idea of waiting for legal advice from an association of boroughs with very different interests from yourselves before you even decide whether you want in principle to divest from companies that are breaking international law seems to us, and it'll seem to the many Camden residents who signed this petition, that you're ducking the issue. You're delaying the issue and you're ducking the issue. That advice may take months, but one thing for sure, it's not going to advise you on how to carry out a principled disinvestment programme. And so don't wait. Decide now that in principle you want to divest our money, Camden's money, from companies complicit in the breaches of international humanitarian law. Decide that now, and then instruct your experts to work out for you and for the people of Camden the most efficient, the lawful, and the quickest way of doing it. And just on that petition, I think it's important that you know that when we were collecting those signatures, it was quite something, very different from most petitions. We were outside sixth form colleges, and there were queues of young people wanting to sign the petition. Now, when did you ever see people queuing to sign a petition? And then there was people, old people, young people, middle-class people, people of all different ethnicities and religions. For us, it was quite an extraordinary experience. People representing the people of Camden, they just had enough. They couldn't quite believe it, that Camden, that has such a reputation from apartheid under the leadership of Tony Dykes, was doing nothing.
I want to speak in full support of this petition today. It's both a matter of principle and practicality that this council must ensure that our pension fund aligns with international law and the values that we hold as a community. First, let us consider the legal and moral imperative. International law, including humanitarian law, exists to safeguard fundamental rights and protect the most vulnerable. By allowing investments in companies that are complicit in breaches of these laws, we risk being on the wrong side of history.
First and foremost, as a member of the Pension Committee, I take very seriously my fiduciary duty to ensure best possible returns for our pension fund members. The primary purpose of the fund is to provide secure financial futures for Camden's public servants and others who rely on us to safeguard their hard-earned pensions. Introducing a plethora of exclusions in the manner proposed, especially given the breadth of companies listed, could compromise the ability of the fund to achieve robust and stable growth. Secondly, Labour Party policy and UK government policy on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict calls for a balanced approach. The party supports a two-state solution and recognises the rights and aspirations of both Israelis and Palestinians to live in peace, security and dignity. Blanket divestment risks being seen as one-sided and could inadvertently undermine Labour's broader commitment to fostering peace.
In relation to the arms industry, it's unquestionably right that we have a clear position on controversial weapons, and probably right that the arms industry represents a tiny fraction of our portfolio, under 0.15% of our 2 billion, whatever it is, holdings. But I speak for many in saying this. There is support
that watching the events of the past 15 months unfold, it is increasingly unconscionable that they continue to invest in companies that prop up an ever-violent government in Israel. The call from our side for action will only get louder, and it is increasingly difficult for them to justify doing nothing in the face of such brutality. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Shah.
It has taken Keir Starmer's Camden Council 16 months, tens of thousands murdered, before they have even deigned to debate a divestment resolution. These people are supposed to be serving us, the people. At this point, they serve their political master, Keir Starmer, and their own vaulting career ambitions. What is it that brought an end to 340 years of apartheid in my own country, South Africa? Divestment. Boycott, divestment, sanctions. And the reason we are all here tonight, the reason that we have been putting this pressure on the Camden Council for 16 long months to divest from Israel's war machine is because we know, as certainly as South Africa is free, that through BDS, through divestment, so too will Palestine be free.